Wilmington. Jesse judges goats, swine, cattle, and sheep from coast to coast. He is an ag teacher and FFA advisor at East Noble High School, as well as an adjunct professor at Huntington University. Jesse is a graduate from Wilmington College. He judged the Junior American Boer Goat Association National Show in 2017. Jesse raises both full-blood and wether stock, as well as being the owner of Kimmel Show Pigs, where he raises multiple breeds that compete at all levels from coast to coast. Kimmel Show Pigs have raised multiple national sires of the year, as well as the only two-time national champion Duroc gilt. Jesse's bucket list item is to judge in all 50 states, as well as judging abroad. Please put your hands together to welcome and thank our meat goat judge, Mr. Jesse Kimmel. Now entering the ring, Class 77, Boer Goat Wethers.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. You know, we start with the lightweight wethers here, and I think we got a young man's wether that wins this pretty handily. You know, one that is the squarest backed. He's the biggest about his rack and loin. And from there back, he gets wider. He takes that to the ground, the most natural. He's setting on the biggest foot and bone. Just a really nice wether there to start. A really good-looking wether coming in second, this red one. Oh, a really long-bodied, long-necked one that bounces up extremely well. Got a square back and just kind of runs out of gas when you get right in behind him. Our young man's coming in next, an easy feeding type, got some big legs underneath him. Just too soft today compared to those top two. The next one here, this spot back one we just got balanced and designed better. Bring that tail head up higher when we get this one in motion, but still got some natural width. And the one here in the end, the one that we do got to make a longer neck, better looking from the side. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 77, first, Samuel Oswald, second, Ava Kendall, third, Carson Bates, fourth, Jacob Hack, 5th, Ryan Ford. We're now showing Class 78 Boer Goat Wethers.
You know, a really high quality set of wethers we have in here, and 1 through 4 all have their parts and pieces we like to work with. The one that just starts, handles the best. He's the biggest hipped. He carries it to the ground the best. This one you get your hands on, really explosive and fresh in his handle. He's got square edges in terms of his loin. You know, he's really tucked up in that chest floor. You want to be super critical of this guy. I like to make him a little longer neck and maybe just a tick taller shoulder, but still there's so much good in that guy to find himself up in first. Another really good handling one comes in second. One, when we put this one in motion, just doesn't tie together as well as what our class winner does. One that maybe just gets a tick shorter hip, but still one you love in terms of his bounce up in that front 2/3. He handles with a big rack and loin, a nice place to come in second. Young man comes in third, gets a good brace on this one. The front two-thirds of this one you really appreciate. I like to bring that tail head up higher. He's by far the shortest hipped out of our top three individuals. You know, this paint weather, I think as this one goes in the future, this one's going to have a really nice future ahead. But he's the coarsest in terms of his rib. I mean, he just doesn't have the boldness there. He's not as hard and big up high as what our top three individuals are, but he's sound and good looking. He just needs more time to compete with those top three. On the next wether coming out here, a good productive wether, sound in his feet and leg, just not enough hard muscle today. And the two wethers down here on the bottom, we just got to give him a shot more muscle throughout. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 78, first Brady Miller, second Samuel Oswald, third Carson Dice, fourth Mackenzie Oswald, fifth Haley Wagner, sixth Emma Kendall, seventh Alexis Wallace. We'll now be showing for champion and reserve champion lightweight Boer wether.
Well, here for your champion lightweight. Give these four young people a round of applause. You know, we bring them all four back out here, and again, four nice wethers. I think there's just two that overpower. They're bigger up high. They span them wider up high. You get your hands on their fresh. The two that came out of that second class will be your champion in reserve. Give them a round of applause.
Your champion lightweight Boer wether was shown by Brady Miller. Your reserve champion lightweight Boer wether was shown by Samuel Oswald. Now in the ring, Class 79 Boer goat wethers.
probably the deepest set. And I know we've only got 4 out here, but really nice set of wethers. We start with the young man's white-headed wether over there. One that is just really bold throughout. You love the rib shape in this guy. He's massive coming out of the backside of that shoulder to a big hip. He carries that muscle down through that twist extremely well. When this guy actually gets into this one handles extremely big and hard, really fresh in his angle. Really nice wether there to start. A really attractive red wether coming in second here. You like how this one's put together. She gets a brace on this guy. It changes this guy a bunch. He's fresh, he's square, he's really put together extremely well. Just not as wide throughout as what our class winners. 2 nice ones there at the top end. Probably the biggest pin sets coming in third. You really like this guy from behind. But when you get off to the side, he gets a little plainer in his look. We need to tuck that belly up just a little bit, but still one that's got a lot of natural mass and power to him. And the young man coming in fourth here, a wether that's extremely hard in his handle. You love that about him. When he gets a good brace on, we just got to give this guy more natural forerib, give him a little more natural muscle, especially out of that rear third. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 79. First, Nicholas Bush. Second, Hensley Mosley. Third, Avery Moore. Fourth, Keegan Spray. Now in the ring, Class 80 Boer Goat Wethers.
You know, a pair that comes out really quick, and when they come walking out here, you can tell these two are going to come to the top. But between there, I think the young lady's just handles so much better. She's so much smoother from that shoulder back than our second place individual. This one just really is rock hard. He's big-ended. He's sound. When she gets him propped up, she gives you a killer look from the side. That front end still tucked up in there. That's a really good weather there for that young lady. One coming in second here, I'll admit he'll have a longer neck in him. His neckties in a little higher out of his shoulder than our first place individual. But from there back, he just doesn't handle as big, especially in terms of that rack. And from there, he doesn't carry as much muscle out through that rear, but still one that's very attractive. He's sound. He's good looking. Just really hit a really hard class winner there. Another one here that coming in third. This one's got a monster hip in him, one monster back. He just gets on the side. He gets a little shorter in terms of his front end. We just got to smooth him from that shoulder back to go up any higher. A good design weather coming in, sound in his feet and legs, just giving up too much natural muscle and width up high compared to those top three. And the red weather down here in the end, a big ribbed, easy feeding type. Just got to bounce and design this guy better. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 80, first, Skylar Sheets. Second, Grace Klinkhammer. Third, Lucas Bush. Fourth, Skylar Sheets. Fifth, Olivia Hack. Will now be showing for champion or reserve champion, middleweight Boer wether.
We'll give our four individuals a big round of applause out here for a really competitive division. We get them out here, a lightweight and our heavyweight in this division. Both are really stout up high. For me, there's just one that bounced up so good, so sound, yet so massive. Young ladies right here will be your champion medium weight. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, it gets extremely close. I think our light-headed weather up front here, maybe a tick more massive, especially through that loin, carries a little more muscle down through that twist, but you question, is he strong enough on his rear pastern? Does he give you a good enough look from the side? Then our heavyweight one here, one that is longer, and that gives you a better look, and you question, does he is massive and is good enough, with enough muscle there to can beat to that lightweight there. For me, the one that's still good design, carries enough. Young lady here in the pink will be your reserve. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion, middleweight Boer wether, is shown by Skylar Sheets. Your reserve champion, Grace Klinkhammer. We'll now be showing Class 81 Boer goat wethers.
you know, a class here with lots of gives and takes, and there wasn't one in here that just come out and said, here, use me, because, you know, the one I use is not my type. I'm going to be the first one to say it. This one's too short back, too moderate in his build for especially where we're at in terms of weight. But you get your hands on, he's really fresh, he's bowled up high, he's got a big old hip on him. I need to make him bigger, better, and get better looking. You know, when we get this one off this side, he needs to be a taller shouldered. He needs to get out and track and probably drive off them rear two a little bit better, but still one that when you get your hands on him, he's just so fresh and good looking, you know, good enough in terms of his look today to get him win this class. But then we get our one here in second, who I'd like to suck some belly off of, you know, trim him up just a tick. But when we get this one off the brace, he starts to break that, and right behind that shoulder, he gets shorter fronted. He doesn't carry as much out through that rear third as what you would like compared to the front 2/3 of that one when you get your hands on him. You know, that's where we need to change both those. You know, then we got probably our best designed one coming in next. This one's the best looking, the soundest out of our top three, but by far the narrowest in terms of its handle. One we just got to make bolder to go with those top two, but still sound those feet and legs. The young lady's coming out, another really massive wether. We just got to change this guy in terms of his rear legs. He sets way too far down, especially on that right rear. He tends to twist. He's really weak in terms of his pasterns, but still got a lot of natural muscle to him. You know, a nice built wether coming in, just doesn't overwhelm you in terms of any power, but still sounding good looking. And our two wethers down here, have some length and extension to them, sound their feet and legs, just not enough to them today. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 81, first, Brady Miller, second, Owen Kaiser, third, Hollis Mosley, fourth, Tayton Mosley, fifth, Nathaniel Dice, sixth, Carly Woods, and seventh, Sarah Lyons. Now we showing Class 82 Boer Goat Wethers.
We bring this heavyweight class out here, and you know there's some sort in terms of cutability here, and when you get your hands on how much cover we're carrying. Young Lay's by far has the biggest in terms of his muscle and carcass, you know, one that's really wide. He's got a lot of true natural width and power to him. He's carrying too much condition. I like to trim him up, which will help him up in that front 130. He's starting to drop in that breastplate a little bit. We need to trim him up in that neck, but still sound, functional, with lots of product to him. You know, the young lady coming in saying here, really long neck, good looking wether here. That bounces up really well from the side. We just got to give him a shot more muscle to go with that class winner. And the young lady coming in here in third, a big ribbed, easy feeding type that's going to go out and cut a nice carcass. Just got to give him more natural muscle. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 82, first, Allie Moore. Second, Taylor Reilly. Third, Taylor Reilly. We'll now be showing for champion and reserve champion, heavyweight Boer wether.
Well, we bring these four heavies out here, and it get definitely some sort here. But for me, the two that's the freshest handling, boldest up high, the two that came out of that first class will be your champion reserve heavyweight. Give them a round of applause.
Your champion heavyweight Boer goat wether, shown by Brady Miller. Reserve, Owen Kaiser. Now entering the ring, Class 83, Boer goat, market does.
You know, a single entry in his lightweight division, a really nice doe. She's really tall shouldered, she's good neck, she's got great lines and sound. She handles big and big up high with a hard back and a big hip. Nice little doe. Give this young lady a round of applause.
Placings for Class 83, first and champion lightweight Boer market doe goes to Hollis Mosley. We're now showing Class 84 Boer goat market does.
some changes we'd like to make in all three of these does, but they all are high quality. And this is being picky of some really nice female. This doe that starts out, well, one of the longer bodied ones we've seen today, the front 2/3 of this one is so long, it kind of throws off her balance a little bit, but when you get your hands on her, she is by far one of the biggest loined animals we've seen today. Big flat loins, square, really up-headed, tall shoulder, dead level. I need to stouten this one up in terms of her bone work, but still one that when you get your hands on how this one handles, gets that one up in first. A really attractive one coming in next. You love this one's body type. Gets narrower up high compared to our class one. But when you get this one in motion, get right in behind this one tends to hawk in. We need to take that width square to the ground compared to our one that wins. A really heavy bone, probably the biggest foot and the heaviest boned one's coming in third. A really good rib in this guy. Girl's just softer today in terms of her handle. We need to extend her up in that front third to get her up over those top two. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 84. First, Maxwell Perez Escobedo. Second, Skylar Sheets. Third, Nicholas Bush. We are now showing Class 85 Boer Goat Market Does.
Oh, again, I think we got an easy class winner, one that just comes together better from the side. This one from that shoulder back is just really level and good design. One that's got plenty of width to her. She's really hard when you get your handle on. But one that just in terms of feet and legs and squareness and look, that one wins this class. Well, actually, the young lady in the pink second, just a really massive doe. I like this one just in terms of her rib shape, her depth of rib that she had. But yeah, she's tucked up in that chest floor. She gets a little weak right there behind her shoulder from the side. One that just doesn't handle as hard as what our class winner does. Also, another doe here that handles plenty hard is one here in third. She's got big old massive rib in her, but she just runs out of gas. We need to give this one a bigger pin set when you get right in behind her. Shot more natural muscle. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 85. First, Keegan Spray. Second, Grace Klinkhammer. Third, Lucas Bush. Now entering the ring, Class 86 Commercial Doe.
You know, our two lightweights here in the commercial doe drive, and you know, we got some differences here. They're different, they're type and kind, but for me, the young man's just stouter throughout. This one's walking on bigger legs, and from there up is wider and has more natural mass. You know, I'd really like to pick this one up in terms of its height of its shoulder and level this one up down its top. But this one's got enough goat there to get itself in first. The better designed one's coming in second, taller shoulder leveler in terms of her look. But one we just need to stouten up, give more natural width and muscle too, one more natural rib shape. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 86. First, Duncan Bates. Second, Kyra Rainey. We'll now be showing Class 87 Commercial Does.
You know, again, two nice does here, and I think it falls together, though, pretty easily. We start with the young ladies up here. There's just more goat here. This, again, when you get your hands on this one's bolder about that forerib, got a big back in her. She's got a wide skeleton. She carries it to the ground extremely well. She's pretty fluent in her movement. You know, you want to be critical on that doe. Maybe when we get her in motion, pick her up on those rear pasterns a little bit, but still, there's a lot of good there in that female. The young lady does an excellent job getting this one showed. This one is big-backed and hard and handling. This one is not as wide in her pin set. She doesn't drive off those rear two as well as either as what our class winner does, but still a really nice doe. Give her a round of applause.
Placings for Class 87. First, Suzanne Roberts. Second, Skylar Sheets. We'll now be showing Class 88 commercial does.
You know, another really massive female that we have. You love the rib shape in this one. You love when you get over this one, the boldness that she has, the squareness that she has down that back is really cool. You know, for me, I like to make her a little more trendy in that front third. You know, clean her up there, make her a little more feminine. But one that's got big old feet and legs underneath her a little bit. Just tighten her up when we get her in motion. She gets a little softer looking, but still a lot of good there in that female. Doe coming in saying you're a big old rib female. You love that about her. Very unique in terms of her head and neck, how skinny that still is for as much power as she has in the middle third there. But one again, we need to give more natural hip to and base with. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 88. First, Brady Miller. Second, Owen Kaiser. We'll now be showing Class 89. Bordeaux's 3 months to under 6.
We start with the young ladies doe here, and when we start in our breeding stock, you know, the front 2/3 of this doe, you really appreciate the look and how that one's neck ties into that shoulder. When that shoulder, we get her in motion, how it works, and from there back, that rib shape, the proper depth here. You know, my problem with her is that rear, you know, that hip. She gets too straight from hip hock to ground. We need her to drive better off those rear two, lengthen that hip out for it to be more functional. The doe here in second is better hind-legged, but just too narrow constructed. You know, one that gets flatter about her forerib. She doesn't give you the look and design our class winner does. Give them a nice round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 89, first, Aubrey Keene. Second, Ryan Ford. We'll now be showing Class 90 Bordeaux 6 months to under 9.
You know, I think another one that comes to the top pretty quick here, but one you get your hands on, by far the freshest in her handle. She's got some rib shape to her. She's got some stoutness of bone. I need to lengthen that hip out. We need to bring that tail head up higher. She drops from hooks to pins here, but still one that gets around the ring good enough today to win this class. The paint doe coming in second here. Again, the front 2/3 of this one really attractive and sound. You love how that shoulder lays in. You like how that neck ties in that shoulder. She's greener in her handle, but from there back, again, drops from hooks to pins really hard, tends to hawk in quite a bit compared to our class one. A bigger frame doe coming in next, and you like the growth in the frame size in this doe. One that is level coming out of the backside of that shoulder. We got to reassemble that rear third. You know, she gets too straight from hip hop to ground. She gets weaker on them rear pasterns. We just need her to drive better off those rear two. And the same way at the doe down here, you know, extremely long fronted doe, long 2/3 of this doe. She gets straighter off both ends, doesn't have the amount of mass that our top individuals do. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 90, first, Owen Keene. Second, Maddox Keene. Third, Noah Lyons. Fourth, Briella Rainey. We're now showing Class 91 Bordeaux 9 months to under 12.
a single entry here, but a doe that's got roundness to her ribs. She's big up high, somewhat attractive from the side. Again, I'd like to stouten her up in that foot and bone, let her drive off those rear tooth, let her lay that farther behind her, but still a really nice doe. Give her a round of applause. we get out here in this first yearling class, and there's some give and take here. But the young ladies, just there's so much more goat when you get your hands on them. She's bolder about that rib. She's bigger back. She's got more frame, especially at the age we're at. And you like how this one's assembled up front in terms of her neck and her into her shoulder. I need to change that one off her rear too. Let her drive them farther behind. She brings them plenty far underneath her and square her up from behind. But still one that you like a lot of things about. Young man's doe coming in second. It's an attractive doe. One that just gets a tick shorter neck, but she still level her down that top. You like how this one is on her feet and legs. You get in behind this one. We need to gauge this one wider. But also when you get your hands on it, she's extremely green underneath that hair. We need some more groceries in there to make her go up any higher. The doe coming in next. Another one, the front 2/3 you really appreciate. She just gets too straight off those rear two to bump her up. The big heavy middle doe coming in next. A big center in this one. Again, the ones we need to stouten up in terms of her bone work, free her off both ends in terms of her movement. And on this black doe here, one we just got balance and design better, but I got some natural rib shape to her. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 92. First, Devin Burke. Second, Spencer Bates. Third, Carson Bates. Fourth, Max Burke. Fifth, Josephine Kendall. We're now showing Class 93 Boer does 18 months to under 24.
You know, we got a doe here, and you know, at the age we're at, is she big enough in her type and kind? No, but still, when we get one out in motion, she wins this class pretty handily. She's by far the soundest. She uses that rear leg the better. I like to make her bigger in terms of her handle. I'd like to make her trimmer up in that front third, but still one that's enough good in her in terms of just feet and legs to find her way to the top. And the really massive does coming in second. You love the rib shape in this one, the boldness she has up high. She just tends to paddle off that front end. She's not as square when she goes and not as square when she leaves you, but still the middle part of that goat is really good. The doe coming in next, just standing there, that doe's really good looking. I love this one's neck, how this one ties into its shoulder, how that shoulder works. It's just that rear third. She gets too straight off those rear two. We need to actually relax her in that hock a little bit, relax her in that pasture, and let her go off and get out and move better. And the doe down here in the end, one we just got to design better. We got to love her out of the backside of that shoulder, let her use that rear leg better. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 93, first, Carly Woods, second, Mackenzie Oswald, third, Maddox Keene, fourth, Samuel Oswald, We are now showing for champion and reserve champion Junior Bordeaux.
We'll give these junior exhibitors a round of applause out here for a nice set of full-blood does. You know, we get to analyze them. There are some structural differences here, and you know, we have to make sure when we take females home that they're good on their feet and legs, because that breeds on. And once you get a bad structured one in your herd, it's really hard to get it out of there. And it takes sometimes 1 year to mess things up and 10 years to fix it. And when we start analyzing these does, that definitely came into effect here. For me, the one that just handles good enough looking, you know, sound on the feet and legs, young man here with the hat's going to be your champion junior. Give him a round of applause. For reserve, another one I really like. When this one's just standing there, this one wins in a landslide. But when we get this one in motion, just gets too straight out of that hip, hip and hind leg. Young lady up front here is going to be a reserve junior. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion junior Bordeaux is shown by Owen Keene. Reserve champion Aubrey Keene. We'll now be showing class 94 Bordeaux 30 months to under 36 months.
An easy class winner here. And I think this is a really good doe. This black doe's monster rib, holds herself together when we put her in motion. She hits her holes. She's really stout scald. Maybe trim her up in that neck just a little bit. But that's a really nice Bordeaux there in first place. Doe coming in second. Again, one that's just got more natural rib shape to her. There's just more doe here compared to the one in third. And the doe down here in third place got some length of neck and some levelness top. We just got to give more to her. Give her a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for class 94. First, Clayton Moore. Second, Keegan Humerick House. Third, Kaylin Stein. We're now showing class 95 Bordeaux 36 months and older.
know, we start with the traditional doe here, and again, one that wins it pretty easily. A tall-shouldered doe, got a big middle in her, sound on those feet and legs, just a good functional female. You know, one that's had some years on her. She's held together really nice, just a very, very nice older doe. A doe coming in second, a very long neck doe that's tall shoulder and level. Just got to give more goat here. You know, we just got to blow her apart from front to rear, and the doe down there and in. We just got to design her better from the side, give her a better look. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 95. First, Noah Lyons. Second, Keegan Humerick House. Third, Kaylin Stein. We're now showing for champion and reserve champion Senior Bordeaux.
We bring our 4 seniors out here, and, you know, I think it's a 2-horse race, but between those two, I think there's one that's just bolder, leveler down that top. Young man with the black doe is going to be your champion senior. Give him a round of applause. Another doe that's really functional on feet and legs is going to be reserved. Young man with the traditional doe will be your reserve. Give him a round of applause.
Your champion, Senior Bordeaux, is shown by Clayton Moore. Reserve, Noah Lyons.
And we start with the black dapple doe here, and just again, more to her. There's more forerib there, and from their back, she handles bigger throughout. When the young lady gets this one head up, this one's really attractive from the side, gets around, standing on a bigger foot and bone than both our second and third. A lot of good there in that female that wins. A really attractive doe coming in second here. Again, tall shoulder, long neck, go level down that top, gets flatter about that rib. We need to bring that tail head up higher when we put her in motion. And the red doe here, a long doe with some length to her and sound those feet and legs. Just gets too flat and plain throughout. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 96. First, Josephine Kendall. Second, Maddox Keene. Third, Alexis Wallace. We're now showing Class 97, percentage Bordeaux, 6 months to under 9.
You know, start with the young ladies doe over there. I think one that just kind of wins this class hands down. Again, stout-footed, heavy-boned, and when you get your hands on, really explosive up high. But when you get this girl in motion, she hits her holes. She carries that squareness to the ground extremely well. Just a really good place to start. A unique female here in second, one that's harder about that full rib. You know, get your hand on this one's really explosive. You love the in terms of her shape up high. Big old hip in this girl. She gets a little straighter out of that shoulder when we put it in motion. Just not as fluent in terms of that hock either, but still one that's got a lot of pieces to work with. A big growthy female coming in next. In the front two-thirds, this one you really appreciate the rib that has, the depth of rib, still tall, point short, gets weaker on them rear passers, and you drive that rear leg farther behind her. The big growthy one's coming in next. You love the middle of this doe here, one that we just got to design better from the side, make her just better looking from front to rear to go over those top two. You know, a kind of a different one coming in next. This one is super big boned and big footed. You love the rib shape in this girl. We just got to get this one a little better design. She's extremely short fronted. We need to bring that front end up, level her up down that top, then square up from behind to move her up any higher. dapple doe here that's sound on her feet and legs, just really green today. One that we just got to give more groceries to as we go forward. And the little doe down here in the end, just giving up too much natural width and muscle today. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 97. First, Hollis Mosley. Second, Abigail Fitzmaurice. Third, Clayton Moore. Fourth, Taylor Reilly. Fifth, Owen Keene. Sixth, Aubrey Keene. 7, Kyra Rainey. We're now showing Class 98 percentage Bordeaux 12 months to under 18.
Again, some give and take here, but the young ladies that wins, I think there's a lot of good here. This one's sound on her feet and legs. She handles great big up high. You know, is she the biggest and best of anything? No, but when you get her off to the side, she levels up really well. She's got enough neck length. She's got enough width and power to her. You know, her biggest thing, I'd like to stouten her up in terms of her foot and bone, but still, got a lot of good there in that female. An extremely long-bodied female coming in next. You love her from the back side of that shoulder to those hooks, and she's dead level and big. She's got a big old hip in her. We need to bring that tail head up a little higher, let her drive off those rear two a little bit better. You know, the black doe coming in next. You know, this is the problem doe. The front 2/3 of this doe, you really appreciate the length of neck she has, how tall her shoulder is with a big old rib. Again, we need to stouten this one up, turn foot and bone. But from there back, she gets really flat and playing out of that rear third, and we just need to blow her apart to get her over those top two. The next doe here, one we just got to design better from the side. She's got plenty of width up high. We just got to bring that tail head up better, make her better looking. And the doe down here on the end, again, one that's got some length of neck and some feet and legs underneath her. Just got to give her more natural forerib and muscle. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 98. First, Addison Garrett. Second, Taryn Garrett. Third, Aubrey Keene. Fourth, Alexis Wallace. Fifth, Jackson Brown. We are now showing for champion and reserve champion junior percentage Bordeaux.
Well, we bring these six juniors back out here for your percentage drive, and you know, there's one out here that wins this hands down. I don't think it's close. This one's sound and wide and square with a big old rib. Young lady here in the middle is going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, it gets a little closer, and I mean, I think any of these three, our second place one comes up here, and either other class winner, you could go multiple ways. For me, the one that's still the most unique in their handle, still great big hip. Yeah, I could change this one just in a few places. A young lady that was second will be your reserve. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion junior percentage Bordeaux, shown by Hollis Mosley. Reserve champion Abigail Fitzmaurice. We'll now be showing Class 99 percentage Bordeaux, 18 months to under 24 months.
Start with the young lady's big doe here, and a doe that just kind of overpowers everything. You get your hands on it, this thing's got a gigantic rib in her. She's massive top, she's big-ended. You know, this is just a good functional doe. She uses that rear leg really good. She's got plenty of width underneath. You know, is she as cool looking as maybe some of them we've seen throughout the day today? No, but I mean, in terms of just mass and rib and back shape with a big old hip, that's just a really good female. The doe coming in second here. You know, the front 2/3, again, you love the depth of rib and spring that she has. She gets a little shorter neck. She doesn't work them rear two as well as what I'd like compared to that class winner. And the doe coming in next, another one that's got some length and extension to her. Again, gets really plain in terms of her muscle or her forerib. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 99. First, Allie Moore. Second, Owen Keene. Third, Rylan Garrett. We're now showing Class 100 percentage Bordeaux, 24 months to under 30. Attention in the Coliseum, we have a lost iPhone found in the women's bathroom up here at the table.
You know, again, some females here, some give and take. The young lady here, just one that's got more natural rib. I like the swoop to this rib, and from that chest floor back, she kind of drops there the way she's supposed to. She's good enough in terms of her look and design to get her up there in first. The black doe here, one that's probably taller shoulder and a little better in terms of that front third. But from there back gets flatter. She gets rounder out of that hip, a little straighter out of that rear hock than what we like. And the dapple doe coming in next. A really tall shoulder, good looking one from the side. Just got to give more natural rib to this female. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 100. First, Alexis Wallace. Second, Josephine Kendall. Third, Briella Rainey. We're now showing Class 101 percentage Bordeaux, 36 months and older.
Again, here in our oldest class, we got some does here. Again, parts and pieces you like. The young ladies, though, I think, again, wins pretty easily. This one is by far the biggest everywhere, the biggest ended, the biggest top, got the most natural rib. She's also way too fat. This one is carrying way too much condition, which is really pushing in terms of her front breastplate. She's getting shorter neck. And if you tried to kid this one as heavy as she is, good luck, because this one's just pushing way too much fat. This one needs trimmed up, but still functional in terms of her feet and legs. Got some good in that female. Doe coming in second here, just better design. Taller shoulder, leveler down that top, gets out and moves around the ring better than our third place individual. The Doe coming in third here. One got some length of body. We just got to fix her off those rear two. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 101. First, Avery Moore. Second, Kyra Rainey. Third, Thomas Brown. We're now showing Class 102, Savannah Bordeaux's 18 months to under 24 months.
No, we scratched 102.
Sorry.
Correction, now entering the ring, champion and reserve champion, senior percentage Bordeaux.
Well, here in this champion senior drive, I think some really nice females. This front lineup, they all use their hip and hind legs really well. For me, there's one that's just really massive, just a really good fundamental doe. Young lady up front here is going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, you can go a few different ways here. For me, again, one that just ties in better. She's a trimmer. She's better looking. A young lady here in the middle will be your reserve. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion senior percentage Bordeaux is shown by Allie Moore. Reserve champion Alexis Wallace. Now entering the ring, Class 103, best two of herd.
Well, here for your best two head, I think there's a pair that come to the top. They balance up extremely well, handle really well. Young lady here in the middle is going to have your champion best two. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion best two of herd is shown by Skylar Sheets. Now entering the ring, class 104, Boer mother-daughter.
Well, here in this mother-daughter, I think this is a very important class at a lot of places because this is just giving young breeders a chance to bring out the mom and show how you're improving in terms of your genetics. For me, and I put a lot of emphasis on the young one. Are you moving forward in your breeding herd? For me, there's a pair out here. You can definitely see a great big jump from the baby to the mom. Young lady up here with the black ones are going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion Boer mother-daughter is shown by Josephine Kendall. Now entering the ring, class 105, Kiko senior does.
A single entry here in this senior Kiko. And if you guys don't know much about the Kiko, these guys are great mothers. They're hardy breed. This doe's really good. Feet and legs are really good. She's tall shoulder, long neck, really good looking, really functional female. Give them a round of applause for a nice class winner.
Class 105, first place goes to Jackson Brown. Now in the ring, class 106, Kiko senior does, 5 years.
Another really good Kiko female, and a great big rib female, sound, good looking from the side. There's just a lot of good in this Kiko and the last Kiko we've seen. Give them a round of applause for two nice class winners.
Your Class 106 winners, Thomas Brown, will now be showing for champion and reserve champion senior Kiko Doe.
You know, only 2 Kikos here, but two really good females. I like both these females. Tall shoulder, good looking. They're good on their feet and legs. I think there's just more in terms of one today. The young man up front here will be your champion, followed by a young man here will be reserved. Give both of them a big round of applause. 2 nice females.
Your champion senior Kiko Doe is shown by Thomas Brown, reserve Jackson Brown. Now in the ring, Class 107 Myotonic Does.
You know, our first Myoton come out here and one that's really stout. You like this one in terms of its skull, big old rib in this girl. You know, very good starter to come out with. Give her a round of applause for a nice class winner.
Class 107, first place goes to Carly Woods. Now entering the ring, Class 108 Myotonic Does.
Little female that's just stacked full of muscle, and you appreciate that. Again, her neck ties in that shoulder very well. Dead level down that top. A nice little female for the young lady. Give her a round of applause.
Class 108, first place goes to Brooklyn Spray. Now entering the ring, Class 109 Myotonic Does.
You know, start with the young lady's chocolate-colored doe here, and I'm not going to say I'm a myotonic expert by no means, but I think this is a really good female. You get your hands on this one. This one's bold and big-ribbed and stout-backed with a big old hip, yet she gets out and motors across the ring extremely well. She's attractive from the side. That's a good female, in my opinion, for the young lady. Then one coming in second here, another one that's got plenty of muscle to her. I'd like to drop her in that rear flank a little bit, let her use those rear two a little better, drive that rear leg farther behind her, but still one that's really good design. And the one coming in next just gets lighter muscle compared to our top two, but still sound. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 109. First, Carly Woods. Second, Addison Quinton. Third, Mariah Miller. Now entering the ring, Class 110, Myotonic Does.
We start with the black doe here, and I think a doe that's just more functional in terms of her feet and legs. One that's really good design, and when you get your hands on her, she's as big backed as our second place one. Is she as big hip? No, but I still think when they get them out and get them going, this one is just way more functional on those feet and legs. The doe coming here in second, a big rib female, got a big hip in her. Again, gets more restricted off those rear two. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 110. First, Addison Quinton. Second, Rylan Hamilton. Will now be showing for champion and reserve champion Myotonic Junior Doe.
Well, I think 6 really good in the myotonics out here. For me, I think there's one that just wins this hands down. Young lady right here is going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, it gets a little closer. I think there's another one that runs uphill, got plenty of muscle, really good looking. Young lady here in the purple is going to be your reserve. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion Myotonic Junior doe is shown by Carly Woods. Reserve champion is shown by Brooklyn Spray. Now entering the ring, class 111, Myotonic doe, 2 years old.
Again, a nice pair out here. Young ladies, there's just way more goat here. This thing is monster ribbed and big back to the big hip. Yeah, and still good enough from the side in terms of her look. For me, I'd like to square this one up in her hocks a little bit when we put her in motion, but still a lot of good there in that female. A really good design female coming in next. She's leveled down that top, got some look to her from the side. Really uses that hind leg, just not enough. She gets flatter about that full rib, not as much natural width and dimension. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for class 111, first to Claire DeFries, second Kinley Reagan. We're now showing class 112 Myotonic does, 3 years old.
Start with the young ladies, tan doe here. Again, a really good female. This one's sound and good looking, and when you get your hands on her, she doesn't disappoint you in the amount of rib shape that she has. Plenty of mass and power for an older female. This one runs uphill. You know, just a good female I like quite a bit. The doe coming in second. In terms of rib and muscle, this one's got plenty. She's good looking from the side. We just got to pick her up on those rear pastor, and she gets extremely weak there, and we just need to change that about her. And the doe down here, the most restricted in terms of her movement. She gets the flattest about her rib and the shallowest about her rib, but still going with some look and design. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for class 112, first place to Haley Wagner, second Claire DeFries, third Eli Cox. We're now showing class 113 Myotonic 4-year-old does.
up here in these 4-year-olds. Again, a class with some give and take. And the young ladies here, you get off to the side. This one doesn't look like it's the boldest in terms of her rib, but when you get your hand, this one's the biggest up high, has the biggest pin set as she leaves you. Does she carry as much muscle down through that twist as well our second place one does? No, but still one that's good design, sound on those legs. The one on second here, a bigger rib female's got a tick more muscle out in that rear third. Doesn't use those legs quite as well, especially out of those rear two. Doesn't stay as square and as sound as what our class winner does. The doe in third here, a longer body doe, one that just kind of runs out of gas when you get right in behind her, but still a good design female. And the doe down here in fourth, one we just got to make taller shoulder, give her a nickel more muscle to go with those top individuals. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 113. First, Mariah Miller. Second, Brooklyn Carmichael. Third, Reagan Carmichael. Fourth, Mac McIntosh. We're now showing Class 114 Myotonic does 5 years and older.
A single entry here, but a doe that could have used a lot of competition today. Again, one that runs uphill, great big rib. She's really square and sound. Plenty of width and dimension here. A nice female. Give this young lady a round of applause.
Placings for Class 114. First, Claire DeFries. We'll now be showing for champion and reserve champion Myotonic Senior Doe.
Well, a really good senior set of Myotonics. Give all these young people a big round of applause out here. I think there's two out here that come to the top. I think they're both good designed, really sound their feet and legs, but when you get your hands on them, they're really massive. I think there's one that just leaves you with a bigger pin set. I think this one's handle's really good. Young lady here in the back's going to have your champion. Give her a round of applause. Off for reserve, another one that very similar. I'd like to just square this one up just a little bit. Young lady right here is going to be a reserve. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion Myotonic Senior Doe is shown by Claire DeFries. Reserve champion Haley Wagner. We'll now be showing Class 115 Myotonic Wethers.
The weather that comes out here, I think, wins this one pretty easily. You talk about one that bounces up with a great big rib and back in him. He gets out and motors really good. He's got a big pin set, handles extremely well. Very good weather there to start. Young lady's coming in second here. Another one that's very square coming out of the backside of that shoulder. Got a nice loin in him, but still one that just doesn't have as much natural full rib and look as what our class winner does. And the little one down here in the end, by far the greenest out of our three. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 115. First, Declare to Freeze. Second, Audrey Spray. Third, Kinley Reagan. We're now showing Class 116 Myotonic wethers.
Another really nice weather here. Plenty of power in this guy. Rib shape. Design's really good. Still up-headed, tall shoulder, good looking with a lot of mass. Give the young lady a round of applause.
Your Class 116 winner is shown by Carly Woods. Now entering the ring, Class 117 Myotonic wethers, 2 years old.
We start with the young lady's white weather here. By far the most massive. You get your hands on. Most explosive. He's really sound on feet and legs. Got some height to shoulder and still good enough looking to win this class. Young man's coming in saying here, just more natural rib shape and top shape in this guy. He's got more natural muscle throughout. Just got balance and designed this guy a little better from the side. And the young lady's down here, a good looking weather, just by far the narrowest constructed. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 117. First place, Kinley Reagan. Second place, Mac McIntosh. Third, Mac McIntosh. We'll now be showing Class 118 Myotonic wethers.
A really stout little guy. And again, the young lady gets this one set up. This one's really neat from the side. He's great big legged. He's got a big back and rib shape in him. A good little weather. Give her a round of applause.
Your Class 118 winner is shown by Carly Woods. We'll now be showing for champion and reserve champion Myotonic wether.
You know, we bring them 4 class winners back out here, and I mean, there's a lot of good in all 4 of these wethers. And for me, I come down to feet and legs. I think there's one that's just super sound, extends their rear leg farther behind them. They're up on their pasterns. They handle great big up high. One that you like a lot of things about. This one's really stout, sound, good looking, handles. The little one's going to be your champion overall. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, another one that you really like how stout ribbed this one is. I like her to be just to bring that tail head up just a tick. The one up front here is going to be a reserve. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion, Myotonic Weather, is shown by Carly Woods. Reserve champion, Claire DeFries. Entering the ring now is Class 119 Pygmy Does.
Now, young lady's got a really nice little doe to start the Pygmy show with. Again, one that's very square in terms of her feet and legs. She's sound, yet she's got the right type of skull in her, good rib shape. A very nice place, little doe for the young lady. Our little doe coming in second here, really sound and square. She just needs a little more time to mature to compare to this class one, but there's still a lot of good there in that female. The caramel doe coming in next, one that we just got to square up in terms of her hock, strengthen her up in them rear pasterns a little bit, but still got some look to her. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 119. First place, Caroline Jarbo. Second, Genevieve Hedden. Third, Genevieve Hedden. We're now showing Class 120 Pygmy Does.
You know, a single entry here, but a doe that's got a lot of natural width underneath. She's good chested, she's stout skulled. I like to give this one a shot more rib shape for where we're at in terms of age, but still a lot of good. Give them a round of applause for a nice class winner.
Your Class 120 winner is shown by Jonah Brower. We are now showing for champion and reserve champion junior Pygmy Doe.
we bring them back out here for the junior champion. I think there's one that maybe just a little stronger behind their shoulder, gives you a little better look and levelness design. Young man up front here will have your champion junior, followed by the young lady will be reserved. Give them a round of applause.
Your champion junior Pygmy doe is shown by Jonah Brower. Reserve champion Caroline Jarbo. Now entering the ring, class 121 Pygmy does.
Start with the little black one here, and I think when they get this one set up, this one's just more massive throughout. This one's stouter in terms of its foot and bone. I like the skull in this one. I got the proper length of neck and just length of body. A big old square hip in this one. Nice place to start. The caramel doe coming in next. Again, one that's really attractive from the side. Doesn't have the overall mass and power that our class winner does. And the doe down here in the end, yet stout skull, gets shorter in terms of its hip. We need to bring that tail head up a little higher so it can take a truer step. Nice class. Give them a round of applause.
Placings for class 121. First place to Abigail Rabb. Second place Ethan Brower. Third Ethan Brower. We're now showing class 122 Pygmy does.
Single entry here, and a young man's got a really wide doe that's got a beautiful rib in her. You like when you get in right behind this one how big her pin set is, yet she's really attractive from the side. Give him a round of applause for a nice class winner.
Your class 122 winner is shown by Spencer Bates. Now entering the ring, class 123 Pygmy does, 4 years old.
You know, again, a stout skull female with a big center rib in her. She's got a big top in her. I like her to work them rear teeth a little bit better, flex better out of those rear hocks so we put them in motion. Give her a round of applause for a nice class winner.
First place in class 123 goes to Ethan Brower. Now entering the ring, class 124 Pygmy does, 5 years and older.
we bring out, this 5-year and plus class here. And I think these two females rose to the top pretty quick. And when you start analyzing them to the ground, they're stout bone, they're wide, they're sound. I think our class winner's just better looking from the side. She's leveler down that top. Her neck ties in a little bit higher into that shoulder, gives her a more attractive look. She gets out and covers the ring extremely well. Probably the most massive doe's coming in second. Talk about one that's really wide and heavy bone, got plenty of rib shape to her. I just got to make this one a little better looking from the side to go with that class winner. Probably the most immature doe's coming in next. This one's extremely good looking, yet still wide enough and very, very sound. I like to just stouten her up, give her a nickel more rib there, stouten her up in terms of her bone work compared to those top two. The caramel doe coming in, extremely wide doe, stout scald, one that just doesn't handle as good. She's probably a little bit past her prime, but that's a really good female to take home and breed. The doe coming in next, another one that you like the amount of mass and power she has. I'd like to stouten her up, maybe downsize this doe just a tick in terms of her size. The doe here gets straighter out of her hip and hind leg as we put her in motion. Again, stouten her up in her bone work. And the two does down here, we just got to free them up on those rear two as we get them around the ring. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Placings for Class 124. First, Caroline Jarbo. Second, Caroline Jarbo. Third, Ethan Brower. Fourth, Ethan Brower. Fifth, Abigail Rabb. Sixth, Jonah Brower. Seventh, Jonah Brower. And eighth, Daniel Rabb. We'll now be showing for champion and reserve champion, senior Pygmy doe.
Well, as we bring these our ladies back out here, and I think there's a really good set of senior does here for me. There's just a pair that come together really well. They're sound, they're wide, they're stout. The two that came out of that last class will be your champion and reserve. Give them a round of applause.
Your champion and reserve champion, senior Pygmy doe, is shown by Caroline Jarbo. We are now showing Class 125 Pygmy wethers.
really nice Pygmy wether to start. Again, one that's sound. He's very stout bone. He got great big feet and legs underneath him. He's stout skull. Maybe a nickel bigger than I'd like at this age, but still one that's got a lot of good. Give him a round of applause for a nice class winner.
First place in Class 25 goes to Carson Bates. We're now showing Class 126 Pygmy Wethers.
Another single entry here, one that's really sound and good looking from this side. You know, I like to stouten this guy up a little bit, downsize him just a tick. Also, a very nice weather for the young lady. Give her a round of applause. Sorry about that.
Your Class 126 winner is shown by Caroline Jarbo. We're now showing Class 127 Pygmy Wethers.
You know, young man's got a really nice weather here. Again, you can see how sound it is by when he's pulling him around the ring, but you talk about one that's great big ribbed and big backed and a big square hip in him, yet stout skulled. He's the right size. There's a lot of good in that little weather for that young man. The young lady coming in second here, a really stout bone one. It's got some, big feet underneath it. You like how this one's designed. We just got to give this one more natural rib shape and top shape. Give them a round of applause for two nice ones in this class.
Placings for Class 127. First place, Daniel Rabb. Second place, Caroline Jarbo. We're now showing Class 128, 3-year-old Pygmy Wethers.
Whether we start with here, one again that's really stout about his rib shape. He's big up high. He's level down top. I like him to use that rear leg better. He gets a little straight from hip hock to ground. We need to change that about it, but still one that's got plenty to him. Other one coming in second here, a good looking one. Gets just finer about his bone. He doesn't have as much mass and power that our class winner does. Two nice ones. Give him a round of applause.
Placings for Class 128. First, Reagan Hedrick. Second, Archer Tilley. We're now showing Class 129 Pygmy Wethers.
A really nice weather here, really wide and square to the ground, stout skull. You get your hands on him. He's got rib shape. Is he the freshest in terms of his hand? I'd like to give him, a few more and get a little more feed in this guy to fill on that top, but still one that's got a lot of good in him. Give him a round of applause for a nice class winner.
Your Class 129 winner is shown by Duncan Bates. We're now showing for champion and reserve champion Pygmy Wether.
We'll give our Pygmy Weather exhibitors a big round of applause out here for doing a really good job. Again, you get your hands on these. I think there's one that just kind of overpowers everything. One that's extremely square in its movement. It's big ribbed and sound, and you gotta love the top shape. Young man right here in the middle is gonna have your champion. Give him a round of applause. Up for reserve, another one that's really good designed, one that's just not as fresh in their handle, but still really square. Young man here in the back is going to be a reserve. Give him a round of applause.
Your champion Pygmy Wether is shown by Daniel Rabb. Reserve champion is shown by Duncan Bates. We will now be showing Class 130 Pygmy Best 3 females.
we bring our best 3 out here, and again, 4 really good sets, and these young breeders should be very proud. I think there's one that's just a really good set from top to bottom. Young ladies up front here will have your champion set. Give them a round of applause. Two nice mother-daughter sets out here. I think there's one that the baby is better in terms of her hip and hind leg. I think it's going to have a bright future. Young man up front here is going to have your champion. Give them a round of applause.
Now in the ring, Class 132 Junior Showmanship.
Well, let's give all our juniors a big round of applause out here for doing a good job. And, you know, so everybody is aware, when I judge showmanship, I want to know if you can show. This is not a skill-a-thon contest. I'm not going to ask 40 questions and see how many laps you can do and how many spins and circles and things of that nature. I've never been to a show across this country where we've shown on the opposite side 3/4 of the time and use opposite hands, take someone else's goats and stuff like that. You show your own stuff. And I want to see if you can show. And, you know, all these young people come out here. You know, I'll start up here. Since this is the junior division, kind of go through. Young lady in front there, I think, does an excellent job getting this one braced. You don't realize how many places I go across the country that you see how many people don't know how to brace. And she does a good job. She uses the inside of her leg properly. You know, sometimes she may just get that wether just a little hunkered up, but still one that she does an excellent job. Young man here next keeps that head up all the time, no matter when. He keeps that neck elevated, which I really appreciate. He does a good job there. Young man here, third, just works around that goat tremendously well. You know, you love everything that he does in terms of how he handles that chain, gets that goat set up accurately at all times. The young lady here in the red gets a good brace on this wether. You know, the young lady here in the black and white, she always has a smile on her face, and that's really important when we're showing. We gotta love what we do, and you know, that's one thing you should do. Young man coming in next, you can tell he's worked with his goat. He's really calm at all times. Young lady here in the red, just really good eye contact. You know, gets that goat set up extremely well. The other young lady here in the red, you know, very calm, cool, collected. That goes wherever she wants it to, does a very good job. Young lady here with the Myotonic, very good, keeping those feet set. And the young lady down here in the end does a good job of keeping cool. For me, there's one person just works around the goat so well. They always have it set up as perfect. Young man right here is going to be our champion junior. Give him a round of applause. Give all the rest of them a big round of applause for doing a great job.
Your champion junior meat goat showman is Clayton Boer. Now entering the ring, class 133, intermediate showmanship.
We'll give our intermediate group a big round of applause out here for doing a good job. You know, I think a very good set out here. I think there's 3 individuals that come to the top, and you know, our young lady here with this bracing the weather, you know, I think her body positioning is really good when she gets that one braced and those ears propped, and when that guy actually wants to work with her, you know, that one, when she gets that one set up and he actually wants to push, that, you know, she does an excellent job there. You know, her body position's really good. Our little young lady here in the purple with the Myotonic, you know, them feet are always set, you know, perfect all the time. They're always set in the same spot at all times. She always has very good control. Then our young lady here in the long sleeve blue shirt, you know, that doe knows exactly what to do. She has them set square at all time. She moves around extremely well. For me, you know, the showman I think best with their teammate working, young lady here in the long sleeve blue shirt will be your champion. Give her a round of applause. Give them all a big round of applause as they leave the ring.
Your champion intermediate meet goat showman is Claire DeFries. We will now be showing class 134 senior showmanship.
We'll give our seniors out here a big round of applause for doing an excellent job. You know, I think it come down to three of them, and part of it is getting them feet set at the proper length and, you know, knowing where to set them. I think our little young lady up front here does an excellent job getting them feet set. I wish you just reach back and set them the first time versus using your foot. You know, reach back there and do it. You have to set it anyways, so just reach back there and do it. But you always get that doe set up exactly the same spot at all times. But just do that right off the bat. You know, our young lady here with the wether, you know, I think her, again, body position's really good. She uses her hands around the ears and the head really well, keeping that skin pulled up. You know, sometimes I wish, again, you would just set back and set those feet versus pulling them forward, pushing them back. You know, you just do that, you know, setting them feet with your hand. Then our little young lady here with the Myotonic, you know, I think just getting that one set up, you do a really good job. For me, sometimes you get that doe just a tick stretched, you know, where we need to get them feet just a little bit more underneath. You know, for me, all three of them could use, you know, something to change a little bit. But for one that just does a very good job around the goat at all times, you know, keeping the head elevated. Young lady in the pink's going to be our champion senior. Give her a round of applause. Give all the seniors a big round of applause.
Your champion senior meat goat showman goes to Grace Klinkhammer. Will now be shown for your grand champion showmanship.
Well, let's give all 5 of these exhibitors a big round of applause out here for doing a great job. And, you know, I'll talk a little bit here. You know, in showmanship, you don't see me asking many questions. And, you know, we showed hogs across the country, and my brother was in the top 10 of a lot of showmanships when he was a senior. In 6 years, he never changed his answers to any question. He had a script. He knew what to recite and what to say. And you've all been coached on what to say when I come out and ask questions. I want to know what you can show. You know, I want to see, are you a stock person? You know, how do you work with your goats? When we start coming in for the show, that's when showmanship begins. The animal is the most important thing when it comes to a show. I want that animal looking the best it can at all times. You know, my kids at home probably sometimes in showmanship get a little hurt because they know that goat needs to be set up at perfect at all times. Not so much worried about the judge and staring the judge down, but making sure that goat is perfect. And that's the way I train them, and sometimes that's hard on them. I mean, because I'm pretty hard on them when my little kids, I got a 9 and 11-year-old, and I tell them every time that I go to a county fair, I'm like, man, I'm hard on you guys because you guys smoke half these kids in terms of showmanship. But these 5 out here are doing an excellent job. And, you know, when we get out here, we all have our parts and pieces, and I'm going to pick my reserve first. You know, I think this person does an excellent job moving around this goat. I think they keep the feet set up. They're quick. They do it right. They're very smooth. Young man here in the middle is going to be our reserve showman. Give him a round of applause. Our champion showman, I think they've knocked it out of the park all day. No matter what animal they bring in, that thing is set up, looks its best at all time. They do whatever that they need to get the animal the best. Young lady here in the back is going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause.
Your grand champion meat goat showman is Skylar Sheets. Your reserve grand champion meat goat showman, Clayton Moore. We will start back up with our grand drive tonight at 8 o'clock.